So we just saw what an outsourcing conversation might look like when it includes the entrepreneur, a designer, and a developer. I want to pull out a couple of parts of that conversation for us to focus on here. The first is the tendency towards scope creep. Scope creep is whenever the first version of your app isn't the minimum viable product. Scope creep is bad. It gets in the way of launching and iterating, which means that you're spending a lot more time building things than building the right things. As an entrepreneur, you have to make sure that your team isn't introducing scope creep, but you also have to make sure that you aren't introducing scope creep. Scope creep affects both time and budget. In the consultation we just saw, Carl did a very good job of managing the scope creep, and he was the one who suggested that we pare down our V1 of the app. In real life, that job will fall on you. This idea of scope creep is especially noticeable in the pull between the developer and the designer. James wanted to spend some time at first working on the overview page, making it gorgeous. Carl noted that that was actually a waste of time for this minimum viable product. Another tension you may experience is a designer wanting to build things custom without thinking about how long it will actually take to build them. As an entrepreneur, you need to be balancing budget with the time spent by your contractors. A good rule of thumb is to launch your minimum viable product without anything custom or fancy if you can avoid it. Once your app has started getting feedback from customers, you can make it as fancy and beautiful as your designer wants. Until then, stick to the default components.